Hi there, everybody. Okay, so I've decided to do this video today because I have clients often asking me what kind of decks of cards are available in terms of tarot, in terms of oracle cards. They are so different, but um, so versatile. And in my personal opinion, from a reader's point of view, my personal method of reading, I don't really mind what we use. Okay, whether I use tarot or oracle for you really doesn't matter. The only time it does come into play is when we're asking specific questions around timing or specific characteristic of a specific person. But I've even found these kind of things coming through in oracle cards when you don't use tarot, and even in terms of like past loved ones coming through with a oracle card deck, which is not very common. But if they want to get through and there's a message for you from spirit, it's going to come through. All right, so I'm going to quickly go through what is available in terms of the tarot cards and what is available in terms of the oracle cards that I have available to you. The first thing I want to have a look at is the Akashic Tarot. Okay, the Akashic Tarot is a tarot deck, but it is not a traditional tarot deck. So it's based on the traditional tarot. It has the major and minor arcana, which means that there's two different parts to this deck of cards. The minor arcana is very similar to a normal deck of playing cards, where you would have four suits, just like you have your clubs, spades, hearts, etc. You would have a similar set of four suits. You then have the other half of the deck of cards called the major arcana. So major arcana cards are cards that overpower all the other cards in the impact and the effect that they have, and they stand on their own. Okay, very powerful cards that will emphasize certain themes in the reading or energies. So the Akashic Tarot, needless to say, works with the Akashic Records reading, and it can help you delve into very spiritually based aspects of your life. It's a deeply spiritual reading, so you don't just want to ask what you should do about your partner or something like that. It can come through sometimes, but this is much more deep in terms of spiritual, personal guidance, things that are coming from past, present, and future. Okay, your Akashic Records has everything that came before you and everything that's still going to come and everything that's going on with you now. So it can encompass many different aspects of your life. So relationships, work, the different forces and energy is around. You can come up things going on in your head, things you need to still learn or study, or lessons that you have that are karmic. All of these things can potentially come up when you do this reading. And I often recommend that a client's question when they do an Akashic Records reading is, what is most important for you to know right now? I really find that that gets the best results, and it opens you up to so much more potential than what we can sometimes limit ourselves with. Okay, we then have the past life reading oracle cards. These are oracle cards, not tarot. The difference between oracle and tarot is a very old system that's been used for many, many years, and it is major and minor arcana. That's the system, like I explained to you before, with the more powerful cards and the others that are belonging to suits. Oracle cards are independently made by an independent artist or creator, and every single card is different. Every deck of cards has a different number of cards in the deck, and every card is made with intention by the person who creates it or the people who create it. Okay, that's what makes it individual. This is specifically for a past life reading if you're doing a past life reading. So if you want past, present, and future, you would do something like tarot. If you want past, present, and future, you can also do Akashic Records. Okay, so then you get different themes in terms of tarot cards. They will all have the same major and minor arcana, but you have different themes. So we have the Mermaid Tarot. Okay, I have the Chakra Wisdom Tarot, which I use actually for my chakra readings. If I need to look at what energy centers in your body need attention, where there's certain issues, and I look up how far back do these issues go, how do they get fixed. This is the tarot deck that we use. It's in beautiful different colors, if you can see there, that match up to the chakras as well. Okay, that's a tarot deck. We also have this tarot deck, which is the Essential Tarot. It's actually a very simple little tarot deck. Comes in a set like this, and the depictions you see here are essentially what the tarot cards look like. All right. In terms of tarot, we also have the Thoth Tarot. If anybody's an Aleister Crowley fan, you will know the Thoth Tarot, which was designed by Aleister Crowley, and same kind of design as what you see on the box here. Okay, then we have the Wildwood Tarot. This is a very Celtic slash like almost like Viking themed deck of cards. It's got a very, very different feel in terms of how the different cards are depicted, especially in the minor arcana. Give you a quick look at them. Let me just get it clear. There we go. Okay, so that's the kind of artwork you were looking at, very Celtic based kind of artwork. Ironically, I'll show you the same one that's on the front. Alright, but a very, very beautiful deck of cards and very unusual to work with. Okay, we have then the very famous and very popular and common Rider-Waite Tarot. This is the tarot that seems to be the go-to for most people. It's the most popular tarot, with the illustrations done by Pamela Coleman Smith. Alright, these are the depictions that you will see when you see a typical tarot deck. They often use it in the movies if you see a fortune teller or somebody like that. So you'll see your traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck. Okay, the Hermit. Alright, let's see what else we have here for you. I have the Crow Tarot. That's been quite popular for anybody who's in the business of doing any kind of readings. Beautiful, beautiful deck of cards by M.J. Cullinan. And I use these quite a lot, so you guys might have seen these already. But very beautiful illustrations. Let's just get some focus. Okay, so that's what you're looking at with the Crow Tarot. Alright, very beautiful. This is one of my favorite decks of cards. I like to use it specifically when I'm doing readings like business readings, financial projections, what you should do in the coming months, should you hire or not hire somebody. So when I'm doing very business related readings, that's a very good energy. I just find them to work quite well. We then have the Animal Tarot. Need I say more? Beautiful, very colorful. It has beautiful little illustrations there as well, and it has a message at the bottom of each card. Still a tarot deck, not an oracle deck. We have the Grand Lux Tarot, which is by Kyra Machete, a very well-known artist who has done a number of different tarot and Lenormand decks in the past couple of years. His art is absolutely phenomenal. You may recognize it if any of you do readings, any of you are students here. Okay, Kyra Machete, absolutely beautiful work. Okay, I think you get the message. But I also use these quite a lot when I do card of the day. Okay, then we have the Archangel Power tarot cards, which obviously encompass the archangel kind of energy or consciousness, and they are very interesting as well. They've got all of these beautiful illustrations, also with a caption at the bottom, and they go according to the different archangels. Speaks for itself. I have the Celtic Tarot. This is a beautiful deck. That's probably the best way to show you. Okay, this came with all sorts of other things, but obviously traditional tarot card kind of setup because it's got major and minor arcana, but it's beautiful Celtic traditional kind of knotwork and beautiful coloring on that. Let me just show you. Very plain and simple cards. Okay, so if you need aesthetics and imagery and that kind of thing, there's your Two of Cups, and you know, that's one of probably the most elaborate cards in the deck here. Then your cups literally are just cups. Your swords are literally just swords. And your major arcana will be a bit more detailed. Very nice. I like to collect decks that are no longer in print or that are a little bit of a collector's item. I have a Aleister Crowley Toth Tarot deck that is also one of the originals, but that is locked away somewhere. Okay, so lastly, with regards to tarot decks here, oh, not lastly, sorry, I have the Arthurian Legends Tarot. This is based on the legends of King Arthur. Also very beautiful decks, and they have all the Arthurian legends. This is Nimue, Lady of the Lake. Okay, so if you like that kind of mythology and these kind of depictions, then that's a lovely deck of cards to use. I use this often as well when I do readings for past loved ones that have moved on. This is just the kind of deck that has a lovely energy for that and works very well. Over here I have also a deck of cards that is not very well known or very much circulated, and it's called the Tarot of St. Petersburg, Russian Tarot of St. Petersburg. It's using Russian depictions and also some of the Russian historical figures in it. Okay, you can see it's got a style all of its own. Okay, you get the picture. Alright, so that's a deck of cards. It's quite interesting. It's got a very strong energy, a very straightforward energy. If you're looking for messages to come softly and gently, it's not maybe the deck of cards for you. Alright, then I have the Wheel of the Year Tarot over here. Looks very simple, but it is a lovely deck of cards. The depictions are really nice. It's almost cartoon-like or comic-like. The Lovers, the Tower, bit of a different depiction if you know your tarot. Okay, so almost like the storybook kind of illustration here, but they do get some of the characters coming through really nicely. King of Swords, and really get into the character of that specific energy or that specific card, whether it's a king or queen, and what their demeanor would be like, or what the person that you're talking about would be like. All right, then I have also a potentially collector's item deck of cards. Okay, Waddington's cards, Tarot Upper Arcana, that's what they're called, Tarot Upper Arcana. And these are pretty old. I can't exactly remember when they are from. The 70s, I think. Pre-owned. But very interesting because the person used the astrological signs associated with this and the planets. And it's also a very beautiful and interesting deck of cards to use. These are all tarot, so you'll see they all have a Queen of Spears. They all have Five of Pentacles. All have a Death card. The Hermit. Okay, that is the Emperor. The Devil. Okay, so that is it when it comes to tarot cards, and hopefully you have a basic understanding of how those work. There's always a system. There will always be the same amount of cards in the deck and all the same cards. Alright, unless you have something a little bit different like the Akashic Tarot, which I pointed out. Then we have oracle cards. Like I said, can always have different number of cards in the deck of cards, and they all have different themes. So it's like literally putting your hand in and picking something out of a bowl of sweets. 54 cards with the Spirit Oracle. I use this a lot in my readings. If nobody's watched it yet, I like to pull these for more personal messages. We have Magical Unicorns. 44 cards in that deck. Very beautiful. These really have beautiful depictions. I'll quickly show you. That's the kind of artwork you're looking at. And then I have my Archangel series. So I have the Archangel Michael Oracle cards. I have just general Archangel cards, not a specific Archangel, but general Oracle cards around angels. I have the Archangel Raphael. Okay, he's all about healing. Michael's all about protection and your power. And I also do have Archangel Gabriel, who's the messenger. I just don't have that particular deck of cards with me right now because I'm helping somebody else out with a deck of cards. Okay, then we have the Ascended Masters Oracle. Also beautiful depictions. Can you see there? All the Ascended Masters or different deities or archetypes from different belief systems, if that's what you want to call them rather. Okay, I have the Earth Magic Oracle, which I use a lot. This is especially used, sorry about the glare, especially used when I do the mother and father healing readings, when I work on healing the relationship with the mother or the father, the masculine and feminine, you know, because those both directly affect our abundance in our lives if those are out of balance. And this is the best deck of cards that I have found out purely by accident to work with when we're doing those kinds of readings. We then have Keepers of the Light, which I've used yesterday to pull the card of the day. Also beautiful cards with all kinds of depictions from different pantheons or different belief systems. The Energy Oracle, which I used a lot last week as well. Beautiful cards. Sorry about the glare again. And there's an example of some of the cards. And we have the Earth Wisdom Oracle, very much based on Celtic wisdom and mythology. You can see they're pretty old. I've had them for a while and they've worked very hard, but absolutely beautiful as well. And then I use these often on a Monday. They look very plain and simple, but they are so direct and really wonderful at how they put a message across. The mermaid and dolphins. So I'm sure you guys have seen those. They must look a little familiar to the people who've been watching my readings for a long time. Okay, then I have also what you might recognize, the Odin and the Nine Realms Oracle, which uses the Norse runes and the nine realms in Norse mythology, as well as the different gods, to bring through messages for us. A beautiful, beautiful deck of cards. You may have seen them before as well. I've pulled these. We have then this series that is done by Stacey DeMarco that I really love as well. We've got Gods and Titans and Goddesses and Sirens, which is also in a bit of a rough state because this is one of the first decks of cards I ever got. The Arthurian legends and the Goddesses and Sirens. That's what I started off with. Okay, then we have the Earth Power Oracle, which basically focuses on different places on Earth that resonate with certain energies. It's not really something that I would use for a personal reading necessarily, but they are beautiful to pull a card of the day or to pick up on a specific general energy. And then for those who are very much, you know, immersed in their spirituality, working on very deep things, this is a good deck of cards to use, even though it's not tarot. If you're on your spiritual journey and you're looking for something to give you guidance with that and go really deep, this Isis Oracle by Alana Fairchild is really beautiful. Not only is it physically pleasing to the eye and very beautiful, there we can see, but the messages that come through and the things that it deals with, the different mindsets and spiritual journeys you can go on. This is really quite a profound and interesting deck of cards. This is where I did my ritual that's on YouTube about the 7 scorpions about getting over the addictions and the things in our lives that we need to conquer, getting used to the poison to the point where you actually overpower it. You know, this is all figuratively speaking, of course. But how we deal with our shadow self and how we overcome certain obstacles in our lives. This is really a very, very deep deck of cards that you can use to guide you through these kinds of things. All right. And I think that concludes my collection at the moment and everything that I currently have with me. So I hope that helps you. If you want a specific deck of cards for me to work with in the future, please be sure to let me know before the day that we start. And yeah, that's it. So you must all please take care. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll chat to you again soon.